She has been working her makeup magic on political candidates and their moms in New Hampshire for almost 29 years, painting the faces of the last 5 U.S. presidents and every candidate, it seems, who has visited New Hampshire since 1992. But after losing her stepdaughter to heroin addiction, Chris Blevins discovered a new passion, advocating for those who suffer from the disease. Now she's using her access to politicians who sit in her chair every day for 5, 10, 15 minutes to bring about change. And she joins us right now from Manchester. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us, first of all, your personal story.
Well, unfortunately, in April of 2014, my stepdaughter Amber was found in an alley here in Manchester dead from a heroin overdose after quite a few years of struggle with addiction to various substances that led her to an IV heroin use.
Yeah, well, we're very sorry for your loss. Since then, though, because when you, as a makeup artist, have somebody in your chair, sometimes they're there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, could be a half an hour. So while they're in your chair, what did you decide you were going to start doing?
I wanted to ask the candidates if they were aware about the heroin crisis, especially here in New Hampshire. And early on, you know, their answer was, huh? What heroin crisis? So I took it upon myself to be the one that could educate them on the reality of what's happening at the grassroots level here in New Hampshire with our heroin crisis.
Sure. And speaking, and we were talking over the last couple of weeks with Geraldo, who has been noting the terrible number of deaths by heroin in New Hampshire. We've got some stats we're going to put up on the screen right now. Drug deaths by year in New Hampshire in 2013, it was 192. 2014, 326, and this past year, 399 as well. And one more graphic. What issue, citizens say, is the most important issue facing New Hampshire? Number one is drug abuse, and that is what you're talking about right there, Chris. So when you have the candidates in your chair and you tell them your story and ask for their opinions, and, you know, what range of answers have you gotten from the candidates?
Well, I think shock at first. It was kind of like a punch in the gut when I talked to Senator Clinton. A lot of compassion from some of the candidates who actually have personal experience, and from some of them that have no personal experience with anyone in their life with addiction, kind of that blank stare of, I don't get it. And so wherever, you know, they are with their understanding of a substance use disorder, you know, I took it upon myself to educate them as much as I could. And I have to say I'm quite proud of the candidates. They're all talking very fluently now about substance use disorder. But what we're looking for now is not so much just them talking about it, but action. And what are the action steps that they're going to take? I know here at a grassroots level in Manchester, New Hampshire, I'm partnered with Hope for New Hampshire Recovery, our only community recovery center in New Hampshire. And my recovery guru, our director, Holly Sakala, is amazing, educating me. And I've got her on my left side, and on my right side is our chief of police here in Manchester, Nick Willard, who wears a superhero cape by day and night. Right. And together we're doing a really grassroots effort to open an emergency crisis shelter here in Manchester called Amber's Place after my daughter. So I've raised personally $50,000 because we have no state or federal funding for our mission. Right. And, you know, we're relying on the private sector right now, and we've had quite an outpouring of support. We want to catch people right after they overdose and have been brought back by Narcan so they don't go back out and use again and again and again. And if recovery is not initiated at this crucial point of you just died, now you've been brought back, this is where we're losing our people here in New Hampshire. So Amber's Place will be a catch net for our community center.
Chris, before you go, do you have a website if people would like to help?
Yes, absolutely. Hope for New Hampshire Recovery is hopefornhrecovery.org. Okay. And Amber's Place is a project of that nonprofit. So
terrific.
That's where you can find us.
Chris Blevins, when we hear the candidates in New Hampshire talking about drug problems in the granite state, you got to wonder whether or not the first time they heard about it was when they sat in your chair. All right.
I'm sure it was.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much for joining us today. We know you've got a busy 48 hours ahead of you.
Yes, that's for sure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chris.